4D Opening Eyeshadow Palette Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you a 4D eyeshadow palette nail art design that is all done with acrylic and gel polish. I think this is awesome. It's got lots of chrome on it. It's very catchy and just the blue chrome that's on the front of the eyeshadow palette is super reflective and it's just gorgeous. So I hope you guys like it as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
I'm going to begin with an overlay of a Cover Pink acrylic. I just wanted it to be kind of a skin tone or a flesh tone in the background, which mine is fairly similar to this pale pinky beige color. And then that way, when you put the little streaks on top of it that have with eyeshadow colors, it looks like it's eyeshadow on top of skin. So just do a very simple background like so, and then encase that with a layer of clear acrylic to make sure it is nice and strong. If you prefer, it is definitely, absolutely 100% acceptable to sculpt an entire enhancement with Cover Pink as far as strength is concerned, because there's Cover Pink is plenty effective at keeping the strength. But I just prefer to do a layer of clear. Who knows why? It's just my method. But I'm going to then file the nail into shape with my e-file to make sure it is nice and strong. After that is done, I'm going to take and do a second layer of filing, or a second round of filing, with a much finer bit to remove any little scratches that that first file may have decided to leave behind. Just like so. Make sure that I also use that straight end barrel bit to clean up my free edge too, which you can do a hand file, but I just prefer to do it with that. I think it works just as well. But then I'm going to take on a piece of paper, I drew out a rectangle shape, and then I'm going to lay a nail form backing on top of that. And then with black acrylic, I'm going to start sculpting out 2 black rectangles on my nail form backing. So here's the first one, and the reason that you did that rectangle on the paper beforehand is because you need a template to make sure that your 2 rectangles are as close to the exact same size as you can get them. Obviously, you're a human, and getting them exactly the same is just not possible because you're a people. You're not perfect. And so just, as close as you can to getting them to be the same size is ideal. If they're fairly close, nobody's going to ever notice, and it's perfectly fine. So just have your 2 little black rectangles, and after you're done, you can set one of them aside for a while. We're just going to be working on one of these after this. I'm going to take and trim off 2 pieces of wire, very skinny wire, and then actually using my nail clippers, I'm going to bend them into U-shapes. I found that the handle of the nail clippers is a perfect little piece to bend those U-shapes on. Then I'm going to string a bead onto each of those U-shapes, just a little glass seed bead. And if anybody's, I know when I've said that before, people are like, what kind of bead did you say? It's S-E-E-D, like seeds, like bird seed. It's a seed bead. But then I'm going to glue my little hinges, the wire and bead hinges, onto the black rectangle that we're working on at the moment. So just take and glue those down the wire piece. Glue the wires down to one side of your black rectangle, making sure that the bead itself is far enough away that you can bend your wire if you need to, and that the bead will not get any glue on it. So you don't want your bead to get glued down at all. Then you're going to take and you're going to build up your rectangle with more of the black acrylic. And at the moment, I started out when I was trying to just have it sitting down on the nail form backing still, but since it had completely set, it had released from the nail form backing and it was wiggling all around, which made that extra difficult. Much easier to put it on something that is going to make it more stationary. So that's why there was a quick switch there. And wear a glove, because as you can see, I ended up touching it, and I got my glove really, really icky, but that's okay. After you have that built up, and build it up quite a bit because you need extra space, use a e-file with a very nice sharp edge on it, and a pretty effective, a pretty hard or coarse bit, and you're going to carve away the inside of your palette. So you want to try to create nice sharp lines, which is why you need that sharp edge on your bit, and just kind of create an indent. So basically you're filing everything but the frame of the palette. So you're making that indent for where the eyeshadow tins are going to be. So then glue that base onto the nail wherever you'd like it, however you want it to be. And then I'm going to kind of just secure it with a little bit of clear acrylic underneath. So just take little bits of clear acrylic and sort of shove them underneath. Nobody's ever going to see that. It doesn't have to be perfect or pretty or anything. It just has to basically be glue. And then I'm going to take a little bit more nail glue, and I'm going to glue the beads of my little hinges to the other rectangle, so your lid of the palette. After you have that, just secure that with some black acrylic so that your beads aren't only being held on by glue, because if that's the case, they're probably going to just pop off the first time you try to open it. Add just a little bit more security there. Then after that, you can open up your palette, and with some various colors of gel polish, I'm going to be making my little eyeshadow my little eyeshadow circles. So for the top row, I did a copper color, a dark brown, a copper color, a very creamy nude color, and then a silver glitter. I tried to go with iconic eyeshadow colors, and that one kind of bled into the corner, but I'll fix that in a second. So flash cure these whenever you think you need to. Then for the bottom row, I went with more fun colors and colors that I personally tend to wear. So I have a pale pink, which is one of my go-tos, a really nice bright green, a blue, and a purple, because I'll wear just about any color eyeshadow. I wear weird colors way more often than I'd wear, say, brown. But, you do what you gotta do. Then I'm going to, after those are all cured, I just took and I top coated them with a little bit of gel sealer. And then I'm going to paint a rectangle inside my lid with no wipe gel top coat. This is going to be for my mirror. After that's cured, take some silver chrome powder and burnish that into your no wipe top coat. Just keep burnishing that in. Make sure that you really rub it in and get it really nice and smooth. After that, dust over it and apply some gel sealer over the top of the inside of that palette. Go to the back side of it after that's cured and it's not going to stick to anything, and apply some no wipe gel top coat over your lid. Cure that, and then I took some blue chrome powder and I burnished that over the lid to make my lid blue and really shiny and super glitzy and awesome. If you have a palette that you are in love with, you could definitely mimic that palette or make a little replica of it. One of my favorite palettes that I have is the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca palette. I love that palette. But it's not really conducive to this design, which is why I didn't replicate it, because it's one that it slides out instead of opening, and I definitely wanted that opening appearance with the mirror inside. And then if you are replicating a certain palette, obviously decorate the palette however your palette looks. Otherwise, if you are just kind of winging it like I was like, you know what, I'm just going to paint an eyeball with white on top of my palette, because I think that'd be cool, which is what I'm doing now. So with white paint, just to kind of give it like a reversed coloring look, so the white glowing eye. And then I'm going to add some eyebrow hairs on there, just like so. All of this, like I said again, with white. And after you're done with all of your painting, you can either top coat it or you can just worry about that later. And I'm going to be adding streaks of color all over the nail with the same colors that I used for my eyeshadow. So I started out with the purple and the green, but I'm just going to take, and I had all of my colors next to me still, so I just grabbed little bits, and with a streaky brush, I just kind of brushed over randomly streaks here and there, all different directions. And then I'm going to be applying a layer of glossy top coat over the top of my palette, and then no wipe gel sealer, or matte gel top coat. I actually used matte gel top coat over the background, and you are all done. You have a cute little eyeshadow palette. I did a 4D lipstick nail probably about a month ago or so, and I'll put a link to that in the description box below. I hope you guys check both of those out if you missed the first one, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.